Welcome to 4-Pack. We're playing Banjo and Kazooie. It's me and Sawyer. Corey and Sawyer, rather.
I got some meatballs and I got some beer, and we're gonna go through one of my childhood favorite games.
Yep. So,
I'm gonna be watching Corey play this.
What we were talking about before the episode started was whether or not it's grammatically correct to say Sawyer and I or Sawyer and me. And new evidence that I've seen states that it should be Sawyer and me, because if you take out the Sawyer and I, or the Sawyer from Sawyer and me, and make that the sentence, then it makes no sense to just leave it as the I, if that makes sense.
This is something that the top scientists like Elon Musk have been researching for years upon years of their life.
Yeah, for sure.
Is it really grammatically correct to say this or not?
Anyway.
We don't know.
So, the reason being is like...
I mean, the reason's like meatballs at the end of the day.
What was the... I can't remember the example that was given, but it pretty much ended up being like... You couldn't say... I'm just gonna drop it. I can't remember. It's very late.
Regardless.
So it's very late. So if we get giggly, that'd be why.
I'm already giggly, man. I mean, these meatballs, and I'm feeling it. I'm feeling the vibes. Like, look at that. Who lives right next to a mountain of a giant face?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
But this like within this realm. Like, I don't even know where this lady lives.
They had to have known that something was going on there. Like,
you live in a hole. They live in a hole with like a giant pillar in the middle, with a staircase going straight to a witch's castle.
Yep.
And you're a bear that lives with a bird. Who just annoys you the entire time. Oh, like, don't you have PTSD or some sort of Stockholm syndrome?
Like, I just... What were they thinking?
Well, clearly we can tell from this game's mechanics that bear right there is very attractive. That's the Britney Spears of bears in her heyday.
Dude, when you get the game fail screen for quitting, if you watch it the entire way, Grunty comes out, she looking fine as fuck.
Let's hopefully we don't have to see that. But I've
she legit.
Oh, you mean the witch? Yeah. No, agreed. Yep.
No, not when Tootie comes out and she looks like a fucking monster.
No, I thought that's what you're talking about, Tootie.
Nah, big Grunty.
Because Tootie be coming out and she looks like Igor. No. Yeah. So apparently, if you take her Grunty's exchange, I don't know, a post-exchange between attractiveness. Oh, see right there, we got a change screen. What's going on? We don't know what's going on. Oh, here we go. But yeah, apparently that bear's just really attractive.
Tootie?
Oh yeah.
I forget what's even the goal of the second game? Is it just to stop Grunty from
I didn't even
resurrecting?
play the second game. I've heard horrible things about it.
I actually thoroughly enjoyed it. I enjoyed it more than I enjoyed it more so than this, just because there was just more going on.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
Just more stuff to do, less collect items and.
Yeah, it was just less 100% it, and more just sort of figure out what the fuck to do, because it was just harder puzzles, I guess. Not necessarily harder puzzles, but just less intuitive puzzles.
It was harder to get the puzzles, kind of. Or...
Yeah, because there was just more, really, like.
More. Oh, okay. More items, more like little. I don't know, space alien guys. What the fuck are they? The rainbow guys?
No, not the Jinjos. There was more moves. The map was bigger. There was more areas. Like, those areas were bigger. Like, disclaimer. There would be. I have another profile on this that I played like earlier in the year or whatever, but I almost beat it, and
But he didn't. He's a loser.
yeah,
Everybody
I
called him
haven't.
out on
I
it.
apparently never can beat this game, but
My mom was able to, man. That's the shit. I was a little kid, and I'm like, what are video games? And she's playing this on the N64, and I'm like, oh my god, mom, you're amazing at this game. This was like one of
also,
her favorite games.
also, are you fucking keeping time for this, by the way?
Yes.
Is that a yes? Now you're keeping time?
Yep.
Indeed. So, the maps in this game are not as big as I remember them being.
No,
It's
no, they're
sort
very
of like
they're
everything.
pretty
When you're a kid, you just think everything is bigger.
I mean, going along with that, I definitely think that this map is. I mean, you take like GTA 5 and you compare it to this. Like,
Well, no,
this
I'm not
is-
saying like GTA 5. I'm just saying like comparatively to what I remember, the maps are smaller. Like
Well,
I remember
definitely
the
because,
maps like
like-
taking a lot longer to like explore.
I mean, but you also
and-
sucked though, as probably playing as a kid. Like, you just to go through this, you were just like, what's a roll button? I don't know. When you played this when you were a kid, I was literally like 6,
I mean, I'm not.
and I probably
I'm not
did
older
that
than
onion.
you.
No, not at all. But like, I don't know
Yeah.
when you got your grubby little hands on this game.
Oh yeah, that's true. I started playing video games when I was very young because
Yeah,
that's just how it went.
yeah. Well, like I said, I couldn't even play this game. My mom played it,
Oh gosh.
so I just watched her play it. And it was
Nah,
just
like there was no holds barred with games in me. Like besides like GTA, that was like the only game that I was restricted to not play because
you know, the first time I ever watched GTA being played, it was San Andreas, or maybe it was Vice City, and it was over at what's his last name? Somebody from our class. I was over at his house, and it was just like the most interesting thing. Like it was definitely Vice City. But
Yeah.
I've never seen a game like that. The like cover was just very, I don't know, collagey like, and I'm like, what the fuck kind of game is this? Oh, well, apparently Alec has his phone back. He's giving me a call right now. I'm gonna
What do I do?
ignore that because it's 11:50. But yeah, GTA, awesome. First game I've ever seen of that type. Killing lots of people.
Yeah, I think it was the hookers that made it so that I couldn't play it. Not
Or the hot
necessarily
coffee mod.
Not necessarily the killing, just because like I was playing at the time. I think I was playing like Call of Duty
You gonna
or
grab that
whatever.
honeycomb
Like,
down there?
is there a honeycomb down there? Oh,
Yeah.
hey, there it is. Holy shit! I don't know if I have the ability to swim yet. I'm pretty sure I have to get that from
Oh yeah, yeah.
the mole.
What? I'm sorry. You probably need to go all the way around. Yep.
Anyway,
Yep.
so GTA was weird because I never understood why until later when I had actually like experienced it when I was like 14 or something because I played it at a friend's house and I was like, oh yeah, I completely see why they didn't want me to play this at 8.
Yeah, but while you're 8, you're like, why can't I play this game? Everybody's
Yeah,
it's all around me. It's
would-
very popular. I mean, like as a kid, you can kind of dive into like if you're like 8 years old or something and you're watching Game Grumps now and they're playing a game that you can't watch them play. They're like, what in this game is bad? They don't have a concept of what's good and what's bad
Yeah.
yet.
You don't know like the extent of what could actually be.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not going to be like Doom is the reason why Columbine happened. You know,
Yeah.
well, video games definitely don't appeal to the male fantasy. I mean, maybe in this game because you know, you got some hot witches converting. You have to double jump.
You don't have it. I think I have to talk to this one to get the Z jump. Or is this gonna be the swimming?
Yeah.
Yeah, this one's swimming.
Dude, that mole's appealing to the male fantasy.
I mean, it's round. It's got the curves, dude. Yeah,
Oh, what if you could? All right. So here, we got a concept idea here. We take the creators of Banjo and Kazooie.
Mm-hmm.
We make Banjo and Kazooie 3, but
Banjo Kazooie 3
gonna.
is already out. It's called Nuts and Bolts, and it didn't sell well.
All right. Retract the statement. We're gonna create a new game, and it's not gonna be the other one that they just made with that Kickstarter. We're gonna make it better. Yeah.
I actually heard some good things about Ukulele, but because nostalgia for this game is so big that it didn't do well.
Really?
Yeah, like it just didn't. Wait, what? Press A to jump.
It just wasn't. Yeah. Anyways, the gist of it is we're gonna add Gears of War mechanics into Banjo Kazooie. We're gonna have curd stomping. We're gonna have chainsaws. It's gonna be a great time.
Oh, dude, Gears of War. That was a game that I never played the first one, but
I've never played the first one either. I bought the second one because of when I was a kid, sitting on the TV. I saw the commercials for it, and they had that one song, and it was really dramatic, and everybody was getting into those. What are they called? The gravity loaders or the
drill loader things?
Yeah, the drill loaders. And I'm like, why is everybody crying and really sad? And everything's depressing. Because not knowing what Gears 1 was.
Yep.
They all hop into the fucking drill loaders. They get launched into the center of the earth, and it's just like, well, clearly there's something down here. Something's going on. And I'm just like, I'm interested. It was that hook, that what's going on. It was enough to invest me. Oh, got to do that double jump then sail.
Yeah.
But yeah, it definitely was one of those hooks. And I'm just like, well, that's awesome. And then just like within 5 seconds of playing the first tutorial, you learn what a wretch is, and they're literally like these things crawling across the window. I'm like, is this a horror game?
Yep.
I got all fucked up. Are you gonna actively seek honeycombs?
I mean,
are you just gonna collect some basic ones just to like power? Are you gonna make us? Are you speedrunning?
Absolutely not.
MLG speedrun pro?
Absolutely not. But I probably it's not hard to 100% the maps, so.
Inner lore, you can actually camouflage yourself with that hay right behind you. Yeah.
It's not hard to 100% the maps, so I might. It just
takes some like timing to do.
Well, I mean, you kind of have to 100% some of the maps anyway because of the note requirements on the door.
Yeah.
And the puzzle pieces.
Oh,
yeah.
No. Yeah. But I'd say like the best thing that I've felt from this game is just like it's not very difficult.
At the time that it came out, it was at the peak, right? Because it was so different from like anything else that like Mario might have been like around at the time, but like even Mario isn't like this game at all.
Dude, see, that's Britney Spears right now. This is Britney before she shaved off her hair.
But what were you gonna say about it's not difficult? Sorry, I cut you off.
Well, I'd say like this is a game that you can just take your time with. You're not like on a timer. You can just explore the map, find everything the game developers put in it, and it still has a lot of substance to it. Like, I don't know, I feel like indie games now, like if they came out with a game like this, it would just like
it would be like
pale
20
in
minutes.
comparison. Well, most indie games are like that. Like they're just really quick, or there's like a crafting aspect to it that it is like one of the few reasons why there's even playability on it, or not replayability, but just playability. Like it just takes you longer to do things. Like with No Man's Sky, literally, you can play the game and then you do nothing except the same thing for hours on end.
Yeah, that's true. I feel like game design has gotten more for just like how long the game is over just the content of it.
I mean, well, I mean, take that with like Call of Duty. There is no longevity in that.
I mean, there's enough longevity for them to make the same game 40 times.
Yeah, but that's all multiplayer. That's just users playing through the maps that they've created with the gun mechanics and perks.
Once multiplayer became a thing, that was kind of the bigger thing. I mean, casual gaming has moved from console to phone, really, and that's the big thing that happened.
Are you talking about Mobile Strike?
I'm talking about just mobile gaming in general, because that's where the casual money has gone. And casual gaming will always supersede anything else because it just has more money in it.
I'm just a fan of just like being able to run around a map. Like, I mean, like you take Skyrim, like you can just kind of do whatever the fuck you want. Like, I'm not advertising for Skyrim, but like, you know, you could. I guess it's the RPG.
Skyrim,
not RPG.
I would say, has some definite flaws with its game design. Like, not just the flaws that everyone like talks about, but like just base like open world to me. Just
when you're talking about when you have Thomas the Train come out of nowhere and just
that's modding, and that's
I know
fine.
it's modding. But,
no, just open world has turned from like what it used to be, like not like this. Like this definitely wouldn't be open world. This is like overworld with boards, but open world has turned into like really. It's hard to explain, but like it's not. There's no content in it anymore. It's just how much grind or how much like fetch quest stuff can we put into this to make people think that our game actually has stuff to do.
Speaking
like Skyrim has a ridiculously large map, but the assets are used over and over again. The same dungeon like tiles are used and stuff, and that to me
Speaking of dungeon quests and H1Z1, we're gonna leave you off with this one, and we're gonna come back with the second. So you take your sweet old time, and we're gonna leave you with that while we collect our notes.